Hello there! This is LEGO Dynasty, and today I'm bringing you guys my review of the LEGO Star Wars Rebel U-Wing Starfighter. It is set number 75399, comes with 594 pieces, and is rated ages 8 and up. Now this set retails in the United States for $69.99 and in Canada for $89.99. Now without further ado, let's kick off this review, starting with the box. Taking a look at the box, you have the U-Wing flying through space out of a planet and an explosion in the background, presumably them taking out some Imperial TIE fighters or something similar. You have the 4 figures on the bottom there, which look pretty nice. And of course the silver strip to denote that this is an Andor set, which is our second Andor set that we've gotten behind the gunship from Andor Season 1, and there will be a third one, that being the buildable K2SO droid that is coming out in August, so very exciting there. Overall though, I really like the look of this box art here. On the top of the box, you have the Andor minifigure, which is obviously a little bit different than the previous one we got from both Rogue One and the previous Andor set, so that's definitely nice. Back of the set has the U-Wing actually landed on Yavin, as you can tell here in the background. And Andor is fighting Dedra and the ISB. Obviously, this is LEGO having a little bit of fun, as the Imperial don't know that Yavin exists or is where the Rebel base is. Obviously, that would be a big plot hole if they ended up on there, but just some fun from LEGO to have that nice scenery in the background and showing the main play functionalities of the set there as well. And taking a look at the manual, it is a rendered image, as you can see. I only bring that up as I am not a fan of the rendered images. I like when we used to get the box art printed on, especially a box art like this, which I think absolutely looks really sleek and really nice there. There is advertising in the back, and another reason I bring that up is not all sets do get it. So you have the ARC 170 and Grogu and Ahsoka's Jedi Starfighter, which came out earlier. You also have the U-Wing reprinted into the back of this manual, as well as Chopper, which at least alongside this set. Now here we have the extra pieces I was left with, and as you can see, it is a nice assortment. You have a couple of extra arms for K2SO. You have an extra blaster that was used by Dedra, so you could give her both, I suppose. Brick separator, an extra missile for the missile shooter. But most interestingly is the fact that I ended up with an extra hairpiece here. This is obviously the Andor hairpiece. No one else can use it, but honestly, I guess I can give it to the Imperial officer. This is definitely an error, and I'm now wondering if someone is missing an Andor hairpiece in their set, if it got accidentally placed into my set instead. So take a look at our first minifigure. We have Dedra in her Imperial Security Bureau outfit, and she looks fantastic here. Definitely, I feel, captures the look quite well. Really, only negative is the fact that they printed white onto the black legs, as it is definitely a noticeable difference in color between her torso and the legs when it's supposed to be the same color. Just a problem to have printing white on other colors. It just hopefully will be fixed in the future, but just something LEGO themselves can't do, even though custom companies and whatnot don't have any issues with that, and haven't had issues with that for years. So just probably related to costs and whatnot. LEGO just says, it's good enough, even though their slogan is only the best is good enough. And this is definitely not the best. Overall though, great figure. It has the hair and hat combo mold piece here, which works amazingly well, looks very awesome. This piece could definitely been used if you wanted to create your own Juno Eclipse figure as well from the Force Unleashed games, which is awesome, and just great. Also has a double-sided face print there, which looks like that. And yeah, overall, Dedra is a great character, and glad we finally have her in LEGO form. Moving on, we have Andor in his updated Season 2 outfit. I want to say probably from later in the season, as I don't think he really looks like this yet. Still though, he looks pretty awesome overall. Love the torso print here, looks awesome. Does have the belt or holster print on the legs there, if you can make it out, which looks pretty nice. No arm printing on him, but back printing looks great, and does have a double-sided face print. Now, unfortunately, I didn't end up collecting any Rogue One sets when they came out. That was during a period when I wasn't collecting LEGO, so all I can say though is that they have updated his face or tone, like skin tone print, as it used to be just a basic white print, but they now have it more accurately in this more tannish color. which is definitely nice to see to match the actor's likeness a little bit better as well. Next up, we have an ISB tactical agent, and this is a character we haven't seen yet in the show, but I believe he's going to appear in these next set of episodes that are coming pretty quick in the third part, as that appears to be when the Gorman massacre will occur, and based on what we see in the trailers, it just makes sense. So looks really awesome, I have to say. Using a basic shield piece here, but it works. I think the only thing I would have liked is if they printed maybe an Imperial logo on it. But to be honest, maybe this is more accurate, it just being all gray. Great torso print. This is awesome, and no issues with them printing black on white. It works fine, and there's no color issues there. No double-side face print, as just the hat doesn't go low enough to cover it up, but still a great minifigure here, and nice to have. Really, my own negative is I feel like maybe we should have got 2 of them. And finally, we have K2SO. And like I said earlier, I did not collect any of the Rogue One sets when they were released, as that was a time when I wasn't purchasing Lego. And I still haven't been able to find them, as they are probably one of the last really great Lego themes. So I don't have the K2SO to compare to. All I know is that there has been some slight changes in printing, so this one's a little bit lighter, and maybe even the sort of prints of the Imperial logos on the arms there are a little bit lighter, but overall it's the same mold that we received originally in 2016 and maybe 2017. So still looks very nice though, really awesome. Glad to add him to the collection for sure. Really the only thing that I would love to see them do is maybe incorporate these into a new Imperial battle pack where they just add in one of these guys, because obviously they're used by the Empire throughout their reign, as we've seen in both Andor and the Jedi video games. Now let's take a look at the U-Wing itself. And like I was mentioning before, I unfortunately do not have the 2016 U-Wing to compare to, but it's definitely one of my White Whale sets, and to see now this one at a significant downscale is a little bit sad. I still think this one does a pretty good job of capturing the overall look of the U-Wing, but its downscale definitely does affect its overall appeal as a Lego playset, because I really feel like that 2016 U-Wing is one of the best Lego playsets of the past 15 years of Lego Star Wars, and really any Lego set. It's definitely a set I would love to pick up, but like I mentioned in my haul video, it goes for about $400 Canadian versus $90 for this one in Canada. You know, so is it $310 more better than this one? You know, part of that is obviously the retirement price, but it's just not justifiable for me to pick up that one. So this is the one you're left with if you want to pick it up at a reasonable cost and have your own U-Wing. Now, overall, like I said, I really like the details of the wings. I do think they do a good job capturing the look of it. Obviously, the gray is just meant to be, you know, regular weathering. So on a pristine U-Wing, it'd probably be all white mixed with the blue and yellow pieces. But here we have just a really nice model overall. You have, of course, the cannons on the front along with the missile launchers. I do like that they have cannons separate from the missiles, because sometimes they'll just have the missiles be the gun systems, it feels like. And I think overall this is a nice look and very similar to what we got in the 2016 Lego set. But I actually think this is one of the improvements compared to that set, is I actually like this functionality better. I just think it looks and works a lot better. So the way to activate the missiles here is just pressing on this slightly raised piece here, and it works seamlessly. Now it will fire both at once. You can't limit it to one at a time, but I still like that, and I think it's really, really nicely done feature here, and it looks seamlessly into the set. Like, as you can see, it's a slight lip here, and you just press down slightly, and they both fire extremely fast, I have to say. Like, faster than I feel like I'm used to with these missile launchers. Maybe that's just, you know, my bias, and I'm just confirming that, but I don't know. I feel like it shoots faster than normal, and not sure why that is. You do have some other interesting play functionalities, most notably this one, which was also on the 2016 U-Wing, where it will raise the cockpit piece. Now you can, use your fingers to get it off, but admittedly, even for me, it's a little bit like not super easy. Like, you can't easily do it one-handed. And I'm guessing that is the reason why they have this play functionality is, especially since this is an 8+ rated set, they probably have some sort of protocols where it has to be easy for kids to be able to grab it. And I could see kids having issue getting it out without this feature. So definitely pretty nice there. It's very simple. It doesn't raise it significantly, but enough for you to easily then grab it. Now you do have room for your character, specifically Andor himself, or Cassian, which is pretty nice. But this is where we get to one of the aspects I dislike. You have the nice print or sticker panel here for the control panel, but you have to have Andor lie really far back. And the result looks like that. And I just gotta tell you, I don't think that looks particularly great. Having your character have to lie all the way back versus being able to normally sit up. It's just one of the ways they've really downsized the set in a way that you might not be used to, but they're starting to do this quite often, I feel like. I've seen it in some Marvel sets and whatnot, and I don't like it. Like, it doesn't look great. Like, honestly, in universe, they are not going to sit like that. And in universe, there'll be room for, K2SO and other characters to fit in the cockpit, which obviously at a downscale like this is not going to fit. It's not going to be perfectly minifigure scale compared to in-universe, but I still feel like they've really downscaled it there to do that, and I just don't love that. Taking a look at the engines are the next area that some people really dislike. Me personally, I'm kind of indifferent to them. Like, I think they look fine. But the engines on the other one were much larger and just more accurate looking. These ones, though, are fine. There's nothing, like, outwardly bad about them. They're very stable. They're not going to break on you, which is something that I think is good. You can see some of the Technic parts that they have there to hold it in place, which I think is a good thing. Now, in the back, you have what I personally think is one of the most useless features in the set. And that's the fact that you can open up the back hatch, do nothing, like literally nothing. Like, there's nothing for you to do. There's no like missiles or bombs or like even just being able to see inside that area. Like, it's literally nothing. I believe the previous version actually was allowing you to grab stuff out of it, but in this case, you're not able to do anything. So it's just really useless to me, and I almost feel like they shouldn't have even bothered putting that on there. Next up, we have the loading doors, which on the original version of the set, or the original set, was sliding, which was more accurate to what we see in the actual film of Rogue One. Now, we don't know if these U-Wings are slightly different, but I think it's fair to say chances are this is incorrect to have the panels open like this. But again, goes back to the fact that they've downscaled the set so much that there just simply isn't room for you to have your characters or have the doors slide. So definitely not the greatest there. It looks okay, but it's definitely very, very cramped. In fact, you can barely fit your character inside, just like on the top. And I have to say, like, there's no room at all for K2SO either. Like, that's definitely a negative in my opinion, but you can see, like, it's very cramped. There is that slight spot right there with studs for you to place a character, which I guess is okay, but even for me, like, it's very hard to fit your fingers inside and get a figure to lie down in there. And that to me is a negative. Like, even for kids, like, I'm not sure how much they're going to actually play with this because of how cramped it is. Like, I remember, just as a kid having trouble when it was this cramped with Lego sets, and it's just gotten more cramped as, I've gotten older and all these sets are being designed at these downscaled, and I dislike that. Like, it's very difficult to actually get Andor in there and staying in position, which I don't think it should be that difficult for you to get a minifigure inside, and you can only fit the one. Like, there is absolutely no room for you to fit in another character, which is, to me, a major negative. Now, I guess you could fit K2SO inside, but you can't stand him up or anything like that. Like, you can just plop him in like that, and there you go. He's right in there. So I guess you do technically have a spot for him, but he's not standing up. You gotta just stuff him in there, and that to me is not a good thing. Now, our final play functionality is the fact that you can open up the wings to make a U-wing formation or a U formation, just like that. And it definitely looks pretty good. I still like to have it more in the flying mode rather than, I believe this is attack position. So I definitely prefer the other way, but this is definitely very accurate and very similar functionality to how the original set worked. So that's definitely pretty nice. And it looks really good in this position. I just think its wingspan is so large that it actually kind of looks better like this, in my opinion. The LEGO Star Wars Rebel U-wing Starfighter, to me, is a victim of its egregious downsizing. Overall, I think this is a good LEGO Star Wars set, but it's not a great one. And when you are comparing it to the only other model, it doesn't hold anything against it. Like, it is really, to me, unfortunate how much of a downscale this set is. You know, I could live with a slight downscale, but, you know, they took so much away from the set. Whether it was the engines, the sliding doors, the cockpit area, like, everything is just so cramped. And I think that really makes the set worse, in my opinion. Having said that, it is the only U-wing on the market, so if you're a fan of this ship, which obviously has only been seen in both Andor and Rogue One, then you're probably just going to have to pony up to get this unless you want to spend hundreds of dollars on the previous retired set. With that being said, that's all my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on the LEGO Star Wars Rebel U-wing Starfighter in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think I'm being a little bit too harsh on its downsize? Let me know. Please like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and have a great day, everyone.